And welcome back. Today, we have a candidate for judge. Again, I have to be careful. The judges, they live under these rules, and I don't want to say something that's going to disqualify this young lady from becoming your judge. So, Beth Allen, welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
Good to see you.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
I met Beth at the Women's Power Lunch. I mentioned numerous times in the announcements, women in business supporting women in business. And we had a lovely conversation. It turns out that Beth is a Buckeye.
I am.
Go Buckeyes! And she's from Dayton. And we had this conversation about Dayton, Ohio, and I said, well, where in Dayton? Are you from Miamisburg or Kettering? And she said,
Huber Heights.
Huber Heights. Now, for those of you who don't know, Huber Heights is the brick house capital of the world.
The world's largest community of brick homes. That's their claim to fame.
I think it was one of the Three Little Pigs, which was the architect. This was post-World War II. This guy got this idea, and he just built thousands of homes right on, there wasn't an Interstate 70 then.
No.
But right off Interstate 40, we had this community, and it's all little brick houses.
Yes, it is.
So John Mellencamp probably should have written a song about that. I think that his were little pink houses, but that's okay. So tell us about yourself, Beth. You're running for judge.
I am, yes.
So obviously you are passionate about the law.
I am. I'm an attorney. My name's Beth Elaine Allen. I've been an attorney, licensed to practice law in the state of Florida. The first 5 years, I worked for a company called LexisNexis. If anybody out there has gone to law school, you'll recognize that name.
Mead Corporation.
Yeah, well, yeah. My dad actually worked for Mead.
Is that right?
Yeah, he worked for Mead. I did legal research over the phone, customer service, and transitioned into product development. So they're legal publishers, and they're known for,
right out of Dayton.
Right out of Dayton. In fact, their world headquarters is in Miamisburg, so down by the Dayton Mall. Yep. So that's what I did for 5 years. Came down here, started my career as an assistant public defender in the Fort Pierce office. I worked in the delinquency division, which is juvenile criminal court, for those of you who don't know. From there, I transitioned into the adult felony section, and then I went into private practice. And I've been in private practice since 2008.
Okay.
And now
where'd you go to law school?
University of Dayton School of Law.
Dayton Flyers.
Yes, yeah, Dayton Flyers.
And undergraduate?
I went to Ohio Northern University.
Ooh.
Very tiny college. For anybody familiar with Ohio? Yeah, absolutely. It was like cornfields, college, more cornfields.
And I-75.
Yeah, absolutely.
Halfway between Toledo and Dayton.
Well, yeah, the town's called Ada, so we're in between Lima and Findlay, the great flatlands of Ohio.
That's right. A lot of corn, a lot of soybean, a lot of tomatoes.
Yeah.
Campbell's Soup has a lot of tomato farms up there.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Alan, from Wapakoneta.
Yeah.
Neil Armstrong.
Yeah, my cousin Tanya actually lives in Wapakoneta. She did at the time. I think she's moved on now. Yep. But Wapak, that's what we'll call it, Wapakoneta. But yeah, everybody would call it Wapak for short.
So what are we allowed to talk about that doesn't get you in trouble with the legal community?
Well,
I'm not going to bork you, by the way.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I promised Leo Villafranco I wouldn't bork him, so I'm not going to bork you.
I appreciate that.
That is the verb, back in the Reagan era. So,
yeah. I can't talk about any specific. Can't make any promises as to how I would rule on a specific type of issue.
Sure.
I'm not allowed to talk about what my political persuasion may be, if any. But I can certainly talk to you about my background, my experience, why I'm running.
What was your favorite part of law?
Oh, wow.
I mean, you got elder law, contract law. I mean, by the time you get finished.
In law school, I went thinking I was going to become a patent attorney. And I actually amadured my patent drafting class. There were only 3 ladies in that class. My professor, older gentleman from a very prestigious patent law firm in Dayton, he shows up, it's a night class, he opens the door, and there's 3 women looking back at him. And you see him, he closes he looks over to check the room number, he checks his paper, and we're like, you're in the right place, man, come on in. So, just the 3 of us ladies in that particular class. So yeah, I went thinking I was going to do intellectual property work, and when I got out, if you would have told me I would end up doing criminal defense, that's what I started with in my law practice, I'd have wondered what you were smoking.
Okay.
But I love it. I love it. My career started out in criminal defense at the public defender's office. When I went into private practice, I worked as an associate for a local attorney in Fort Pierce by the name of Chuck Schaefer. He taught me family law, so that's when I got exposed to doing family law. I had done juvenile delinquency cases already at the PD's office. Chuck did dependency work, so I learned some dependency work from him. And I started doing some general civil cases once I got out into my own firm.
Well, if you work in family law, you must know Judge Geiger.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, I remember Judge Geiger.
He's my good buddy. I worked with him when he came back from Hawaii, running for judge for his second go-around in the circuit.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
I covered his campaign through Out2 News, and we took lots of pictures of him. And
well, hopefully you're getting lots of pictures of me,
That's
too.
right, and his investiture. So
yeah.
And his retirement.
I think I met you at his retirement party, actually. It was
Peacock up at Fort Pierce.
Yeah, at what was that? The Pelican Yacht Club. Pelican Yacht Club in Fort Pierce. Yeah.
There we go.
There were 3 judges retiring, and actually that's what inspired me to try to become a judge. One of the judges who was retiring, it was Judge Geiger, Judge Shack, and Judge Makeimson. And Judge Makeimson gave a speech that really just moved me, and I don't know what it was, but it just struck a nerve, and it really got me started thinking about becoming a judge, because he told us, he looked at us and he said, listen, if you want to serve, become a judge. We all can do pro bono work as part of our career. Certainly I started out at the public defender's office where I was representing folks who had been declared indigent, but were facing oftentimes very serious charges, and therefore were entitled to a court-appointed attorney. So that's one way to serve. Once you're in private practice, you can provide what's called pro bono representation. You're going to represent folks who can't afford an attorney in various legal areas. It depends on if you're accepting the case through Florida Rural Legal Services, which is our legal aid department here in St. Lucie County, or if you're just accepting somebody who came in off the street. But basically, you're going to provide them with free representation. But as a small business owner, I'm the smallest of the small. It's just me in my shop. I don't have a secretary. I don't have a paralegal. I certainly don't have an associate or a partner or anything like that. I do what I can to give back, and I do represent several people pro bono every year, but there's only so much I can do and still keep my lights on.
Sure.
But Judge Makeimson said that, you know, as a judge, he's able to touch so many people's lives in the community. And certainly for circuit court, which is the position that I'm running for, you're talking about things that could have major impacts on people's lives. Domestic violence injunctions, child custody or visitation. Visitation's the old word. We call it time sharing now. Felony cases, so whether or not somebody will be going to prison or perhaps being placed on community control or probation, which are alternative sanctions, probate cases, child support. There's so many different things that fall under the area of the circuit court. All foreclosure cases, be it residential or commercial, are handled at the circuit level. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but the probate is handled. So these are matters that have profound impacts on people's everyday lives, and our judges will deal with hundreds, if not thousands, of people every year in their courtroom.
Okay. Now, dogs, cats, birds.
Yeah.
Do you? Everybody wants to know if you have any
fur babies.
Fur babies. I knew you had used the phrase, and I couldn't remember.
Yes.
Fur babies.
Yeah, fur babies.
And what collection of fur babies do we have at home?
Oh, well, I actually have both dogs and a cat. I have 2 dogs, Belle and Woody. I'm a Disney fanatic, folks, absolute fanatic. So my pets all have Disney names. So I have Belle and Woody. They're my dogs. And I also have a cat named Mike. He's named after Mike Wazowski from Monsters, Inc., because he is a total monster. I love him, though. And I used to have another cat. Her name was Kelsey, but she passed away. She was 20, so she'd been with my husband and I our entire marriage. We've been married 19 years now.
Oh, wow.
We've been together 26 years. I mean, we met and we were high school sweethearts. I had to drive to our first dance because David didn't have a driver's license yet. So that's our family. We've always had pets, always dogs and cats. So.
Well, I want to thank you for being with us. It allows everybody out there to put a face with the name that they're going to see on the ballot. So maybe if somebody, it makes it easier for you to vote for Beth. Consider it.
Absolutely.
Where can they reach you if they have questions?
Okay, well, I've got a campaign page on Facebook. You can find me under Beth Elaine Allen. You can also find my website. It's www.allenforjudge.com, and the 4 is FOR, not the number. My law office is in Fort Pierce. It's Beth E. Allen, PA. You can find me on the Florida Bar website that way under Beth Allen. So, yeah, there are a lot of different ways that folks can find me. And please, if anybody has any questions, wants to know anything about me, why I'm running, what I want to do, what I can bring to this election, please stop me, please call me, text me, email me, send me a message through my website or through Facebook. I would love to discuss it with people, to let them know exactly why I'm running and what I think I can bring to the office, my strengths that I can bring to it.
Okay, well, again, thank you for being with us.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
We'll see you again, and good luck in your endeavor.
I appreciate it. August 30th. That's the primary.
August 30th, that's right. And we will be right back.
Thank you. Have a great day.